What's up, everybody? So, the premiere, this is the review for the new show, Filthy Rich on Fox, Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot. I really enjoyed this show. I really do. The premiere was dope. And I'm really feeling it, though. Like, it's good drama. It's messy as hell. The characters are likable. Some are relatable, minus the money. It's all around. It's fun. This is good drama. So basically, we got introduced to the Monroe family. Margaret, Eugene Monroe, the matriarch and patriarch of the family. Their two children together, Eric and Rose. Margaret is basically the white version of Oprah. Basically, she's a TV host. She's the co-founder of their network, the Sunshine Network. Her husband Eugene is a minister. He's the co-founder of the Sunshine Network as well. Their children, daughter Rose, she's an aspiring fashion designer, trying to create her own fashion house and stuff, which Margaret does not approve. Their son Eric is the senior vice president of operations for the network. He's basically being groomed to be the CEO. That's what Eugene wants. So basically we start this episode and it's like a flash forward of Margaret walking out of the mansion, out of the country home that they have, one of the homes. I guess it's the hunting camp or whatever. And she's walking out of the mansion and the damn mansion is on fire. I said, no, this bitch didn't burn down this house. It is good to see Kim Cattrall back on TV. Let me just say that. Since Sex and the City, when she plays Samantha, it's good to see her back. Especially in this type of role, because she's perfect for it. So we get to present day and she's sitting there praying in a room and Eugene comes in and, flashes this big green diamond ring at her. Puts it on her finger. So basically they're preparing for a celebration. It's, I'm guessing, the 25th anniversary of the Sunshine Network, which they both co-founded 25 years ago. Their in-law, which is Reverend Paul Luke Thomas, which is Becky's brother. Becky is Eric's wife, pregnant wife. I kind of like Becky. I kind of like her. She a little snooty. She's a little, highfalutin, but I kind of like her. She's manipulative, her and her brother, because her brother is one of the popular talents on the network, on the Sunshine Network. Him and Margaret both bring in a lot of ratings for the network. Eric is also a he sings, and he actually got a good voice. So basically they're having this big old celebration and they got the studio audience and stuff because this show takes place in New Orleans, Louisiana. I love New Orleans. Let me just tell you, the food there. If you go to New Orleans, listen, you better get ready to put on some pounds because the food in New Orleans, woo, have you licking your chops every minute. So Margaret, little extra ass, come down from the ceiling with wings on and stuff like that. So they sitting there thanking everybody, doing their whole charade. And now they're sitting with this table eating fried chicken. They got the fried chicken, look like they got the sweet tea and, just having a ball and talking about a new addition to the Sunshine Network, which is something called the Sunny Club. The Sunny Club is like a online shopping thing that they're doing, subscription. People can come up there and buy stuff on it and stuff, like clothes, merchandise, or how that stuff go. And their son Eric basically was talking about butt butter and porn and all this other mess in front of everybody. And Margaret and Eugene were not happy about his foolery. They were not happy. So meanwhile, we get to another scene where it looks like we get introduced to Ginger Sweet. Ginger Sweet is Eugene's illegitimate daughter that the family at this point don't know about yet. Her mother is sitting there watching TV and stuff. She's watching them on the Sunshine Network, sitting there watching her baby daddy Eugene and his wife all on the network and stuff like that. And apparently Ginger runs some type of sex website or whatever. They be doing all type of kinky shit on that website. Like, they got a chick standing there in some little skimpy outfit with a cow next to her, a pig, whatever the hell that was. I think it was a cow, some shit. And she pouring milk all over herself. I was like, what in the type of freaky deaky ass website your ass is running? So she come in there, she sees the shit on the Sunshine Network that her mother watching. She cut it off. So apparently Ginger knew all since she was a child that Eugene was her father. So this is no surprise to her. So she knew. So they sitting there, you know, back at the network or whatever, enjoying themselves, having a party. Rose is still trying to talk to her parents about putting her fashions on the new Sunny Club website so people can purchase it and stuff. And Margaret is not trying to do it. Eugene wants to do it for her, but Margaret was like, no, we need to stop indulging her. We're not going to just be handing our kids stuff because they asked for it. They need to work for it or whatever. I felt like Margaret was just trying to be, you know, jealous or whatever. Trying to keep her daughter down or trying to keep her daughter, you know, doing whatever she want her to do, basically trying to control it. So Eugene and Margaret are dancing or whatever, and he tell her that he got to hop on the jet to go to DC. And she was hoping that they could spend some time together and whatnot. So he gets his old ass on the jet, and Eugene is popping bottles with some hoes. I was like, Eugene is up there with some whores. I said, yo, Eugene, down there taking his pants off. I said, first of all, we don't need to see that old shit, but all right. Like, he just popping bottles. I said, okay, Eugene. All right, Eugene got some hoes. You know, just basking in the fact that, you know, the family is wealthier than ever. But the plane start malfunctioning. Then you see, you know, fire and all this shit. Next thing you know, the damn plane going down. I said, damn. So we get to this scene where now they're having Eugene's funeral. And apparently they didn't find Eugene's body. When they said they did not find Eugene's body, I had a feeling Eugene wasn't dead. As soon as they said we did not find his body, I was like, yeah, that means there's a possibility Eugene is alive. That's some true soap opera shit right there. When let me tell you something, any daytime show, primetime show, if you don't find a body, 9 times out of 10, their ass ain't dead. They're alive and they're going to pop up on you at some point in time. So anyway, they all at the funeral and stuff. And then Franklin, which is the family's attorney, Franklin Lee, you know, he goes to talk to Margaret and stuff, and she wants to see Eugene's will because Franklin taking forever to show them the will or whatever. But he does show her a document, and she was like, oh, you know, she trying to act like she didn't know nothing about Eugene's affairs, that Eugene was fucking around on her. Try to blame it on Franklin, talking about, oh, Franklin knew about it for years and didn't do anything about it. He was like, okay, don't act like you didn't fucking know about it. I said, exactly. You can't tell me wives be married to their husbands all these years and don't know that they messing around. You knew. You if you didn't have proof, you had a feeling that he was fucking around on you. You knew. So she found out that he had a child throughout this affairs. And Franklin said, pick that document up and read it again. He had children, not a child. He gave her the document and gave her glasses. She looked at it. She said, this son of a bitch. He was like, He had children, sweetie, not a child, but he had children. That means plural. That's multiple. He had children. So the illegitimate kids, they all get letters about Eugene's passing and that they got to go to New Orleans for the will reading. So we see Jason, who lives in Colorado. He's a marijuana grower. And this chick come over to give him the document or whatever to serve him with the papers for him to come to New Orleans. And as soon as he opened the door, she handed him the paper. She's sitting there flirting. So he was like, you want to come in for something to drink or whatever? She was like, sure. I was like, yeah, y'all about to fuck. We already know. So then we go to New York, where we see Antonio. He's Hispanic. He's a boxer. So he gets the document and stuff like that. And they were just wondering who the hell is Eugene? Like, because they didn't know Eugene was their dad. So then we go to Vegas and Ginger gets served. So Margaret crazy ass is at the mansion sitting on the steps smoking a cigarette with a damn glove on because she doesn't want the nicotine to get in her nails. Margaret is extra as shit, but I'm here for it. So she got to tell Rose and Eric that their father basically was a hoe and he constantly cheated on her, and his affairs resulted in the birth of 3 bastard children. And they were shocked. They were like, hell no. Rose was like, not my daddy. She was like, yeah, your daddy. He was fucking around. So we get to the reading of the will, and I love the fact that initially when Ginger met Antonio and Jason, she embraced them initially when she met them. You know, she never said, oh, y'all not my brothers, y'all not this. She embraced them. She really did. She embraced them. So when they got in the room and stuff, Margaret, you know, gives them some cake, a piece of cake that she made. And Eric, of course, starts in talking about something. Oh, I'm not giving a piece, not one piece of my family's company to a hoodlum, a drug dealer, and a hooker. And Ginger was like, I ain't no hooker. He said, oh, I saw your website. She said, oh, you subscribe to my website? I was like, Eric, no, he liked what he saw when he saw that website, that little sex website. He know he liked it. He probably do got a subscription that Becky don't know about. So here go Margaret, this bitch. She offered them $1 million a piece and for them to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Ginger automatically was like, hell no. She said, I am not taking that deal. Jason and Antonio were cool with it. They was like, yeah, we'll take it. Ginger said, no, the fuck we're not. She was like, why would we take $1 million when you're worth over $2.2 billion? Jason was like, y'all worth over $2 billion and you flew us coach. Margaret flew them coach. I was like, yo, Margaret ain't shit. Like, how you worth over $2 billion and you flew them kids coach? Oh yeah, and by the way, Antonio has a little son. His name is Jesus. I forgot to mention Jesus. So that's why Antonio is eager to take the money, because he got a child to provide for. You know what I mean? That's why he was super eager. But they'll get the money and all that stuff contingent on them. They also got to submit their saliva for a DNA test to prove that they are Eugene's kids. I already knew upon meeting Ginger, like when we seen Ginger in this episode, I already knew she was going to be a thorn in Margaret's ass. I already knew it, and I think Margaret knew it too. The other two were easy as shit, but Ginger, I knew she was going to be a pain in their ass. Because in the will, Eugene wanted them to have each of his kids to have 5%, but they were going to split that 5%, which each kid was going to get 1%. So Ginger, Jason, Antonio, Rose, and Eric were all going to get 1% each of the company, which 1% equals $6 million for them, which is a hell of a lot of money. But she wanted to offer them $1 million. I was like, if you don't get out of here with that lowball ass offer, I was like, oh hell no. So Antonio and them want to take the offer, and Ginger was like, why the fuck will we take $1 million when we can get way more than that? And I do agree. Like, come on, this is $1 billion family. Multi-billion. You know what I'm saying? Why take that little bit of ass money? I definitely agree with that. So Margaret and Franklin are trying to figure out a way to get them out of the company. You know, get them out of the company, get them out of town and stuff. And they told Eric not to tell his wife Becky, not to tell Becky's brother Paul, the Reverend. Don't tell them, because if you tell them, y'all screwed. You know what I mean? Because they're going to try to use it to their advantage. So of course Eric, little snitch ass, basically sat there and told Becky, talking about, oh, she's my wife. So what, you little snitch? Like, y'all trying to preserve y'all billions. You better shut the hell up. Like, how you gonna sit there and tell her when you are the one talking about you're not trying to give up a piece of the company or nothing? to the other 3 children. So if you're not, then you might want to keep your mouth shut, because obviously Margaret's trying to keep this from people, and she's trying to keep it from the public, because it can financially fucking ruin you, you idiot. Y'all are a publicly traded company. Shut your mouth. So, of course, Paul comes up with the idea that they'll keep it out of the public if Margaret hands Eric the CEO position of the parent company, Monroe Unlimited. Monroe Unlimited is the parent company that owns the Sunshine Network. Basically, he wants Eric to step up as CEO, basically for his sister's sake too. And Margaret just goes back to doing what she's doing. Basically, being the face of the network and, being the TV host, and the both of them can run the network basically, because they pull in the viewers. That's pretty much what he wants. And Margaret, she was like, hell no. I could see it on Margaret's face. She wasn't about to go for that deal. There was no way in hell Margaret was going to accept that shit. So Margaret basically told Franklin that if Ginger wanted a seat at the table, she was going to give her one. Because Franklin is worried about the company going under too, because he got a lot to lose too if the company goes bankrupt. His real estate portfolio, all that shit. And I got a feeling that Franklin is feeling Margaret. Like he wants some of that yum yum. I got a feeling, because the way he be looking at her and acting around her, he definitely trying to hit that. That's how he act. So Margaret invites Ginger to a luncheon or whatever, like a luncheon that her organization does, her charity organization does or whatever, for young girls and stuff. Ginger showed up in this outfit looking like a straight Southern belle with the hat on. Margaret was like, what the hell are you wearing? So Margaret went up to the podium and introduced Ginger to the podium to speak to the young girls, because she built a business from the ground up. Margaret thought she was slick, because she definitely tried to embarrass Ginger. That's exactly what she tried to do, and put her on Front Street about her sex website. So Ginger comes up to the podium and she was like, tell the young girls what you do that you're so proud of. So Ginger, of course, was sitting there just stuck. She couldn't say shit. So Margaret pulled her off stage and told her, my offer now went from 1 million to 2 million. So now she offering Antonio, Jason, and Ginger $2 million. She was like, that's basically telling her that's all y'all worth. Telling Ginger basically, that's all you're worth. She was like, you only represent no more than 10 minutes of her husband's pleasure. I was like, the nerve of this bitch. She told her you represent no more than 10 minutes of her husband's pleasure. I was like, what type of shit? That just boiled. That just fueled Ginger. Ginger was just boiling, because Antonio and Jason wanted to take it. They wanted to take the 2 million and just go. And I can totally understand why Antonio wanted to take it, because he has a child to take care of. But I still feel like that's a lowball number. You know what I'm saying? For which I could get. That's a lowball. Because at the end of the day, y'all are that man's children. Y'all are entitled to a hell of a lot more. Because apparently Eugene, whenever he got drunk, he would change his will and add the kids to the will whenever he got drunk. But when he got sober, he would go back to his original will, which would cut the 3 illegitimate children out. So when he got drunk, he would put them in. And during a plane crash, that's when he didn't get a chance to change the will back to the original. So that's why they were even included in this one. But as his illegitimate children, whether they were a part of the will or not, they would still be entitled to more. They can take that shit to court. So of course, Ginger was like, no, we're not taking that $2 million deal when we can get more. But I feel like Antonio and them was just like, nah, let's take it. Because Ginger, they felt, was probably, overplaying her hand at that point. Which, at points, I think she was. But at the same time, y'all are that man's kids. Y'all can get a hell of a lot more than that. You know what I'm saying? So, Eric comes over to the house or whatever and tells his mother that he wants to be the CEO of Monroe Unlimited. Because that's what his father would have wanted. And Margaret was like, she felt like he wasn't ready. And he was pissed because he felt like she forgot about his father and she was trying to, disregard what his father wanted. So she told Franklin, well, we need to replace Eugene. So she did a press conference and she named herself as the new CEO of Monroe Unlimited. And of course, Eric was pissed about it. So she wanted the 3 illegitimate children to come to the hunting camp that she has with the big country mansion and stuff. She wanted them to come stay there because Franklin was like, we need to keep them out the public eye, because what happened at the luncheon, people in town are starting to, rumors are starting to go around town and stuff. So they need to keep them out the public, because that's the one thing she don't need. So Eric comes over there pissed off. He comes to the camp, the hunting camp. He comes over there all huffing and puffing, pissed off because he saw the press conference with Becky. Becky was like, your mother's a bitch. I love Becky though, because she ain't got no shame about her shit. So he come over there pissing, talking about, oh, his mother out of her damn mind. And as soon as he said that, I knew Margaret was about to slap the taste out of his mouth, and she sure did. Slapped the dog shit out of him and was like, you better watch who you talking to. I said, I know that shit right, Margaret. You know, put him in place. So basically they came up, you know, the kids came up in the mansion or whatever. She told them to pick a room. And Ginger was like, bitch, I know what you're trying to do. She was like, and it's not going to work. So she's sitting there trying to be all nice to Ginger, but Ginger is not swayed by it. So Rose and Jason are talking. So apparently the other DNA tests came back positive that Antonio and Ginger are Eugene's illegitimate children. The only person who had to retake the test because it was inconclusive, because it was contaminated or whatever, was Jason. So Jason had to retake the test. So we see Jason go to somebody's hospital room, which I'm assuming is his brother or whatever, another brother of his who's comatose. And we see him put something in his brother's mouth, look like he was trying to take some DNA from his brother. I was like, so is that the real child? Is that Eugene's real kid? Because he took something and put it in his mouth like he was taking some DNA. I was like, so Jason's not really Eugene's child. I said, oh, okay. Because if you notice back when they were doing a will reading, Jason and Rose were kind of making googly eyes at each other or whatever. And I was like, bitch, that's your brother. Like, that's your half brother. What type of sickness are you into? So apparently that's probably not even her brother. Apparently. Because when they were sitting on the porch talking, he was like, oh, you mind if I smoke some weed or whatever? And they were just sitting there smiling and talking, trying to tell him, you know, he would have felt differently if he would have got to know Eugene. And he tried to kiss her. I was like, oh. So he know for that when he tried to kiss her, that tells me he know for a fact Eugene and his father. So he trying to run game. He trying to run a con. So they all sitting there having dinner. And Margaret, of course, comes up with a new solution, with a new plan. She wants to give each of them 5% of the company instead of 1%. So, no, actually, she was offering them 1% of the company, which is $6 million. And Ginger still said no. But Jason and Antonio was like, shit, we'll take it and go home. But Ginger's still sitting there talking about, no, we're not taking it. She was like, hell no. Because she still feel like that's a low ball offer. So she was like, fuck it. We want 5% of the company. She told Margaret basically to give all of them 5% of the company, which is $30 million a piece. Because that's what the 5% is worth. And, you know, Margaret ain't about to do all that. So, of course, she tried to soup Rose up by saying, oh, wouldn't $30 million help you build up your fashion house? And Rose was like, yep, it sure would. So she was trying to endear herself to Rose and stuff like that. And Margaret, the way Margaret looked at Rose, she looked at Rose like she was about to knock her head off. I was like, yo, y'all are crazy over this money. But I also feel like Margaret don't want them around because they're a constant reminder of her husband's infidelities. So I think it's more than just money. So, Rose and Ginger start talking. It seemed like, you know, Rose is coming around to them like she liked them and stuff. And Ginger seemed like she's starting to soften towards them. And Franklin gives Ginger a letter that apparently was written by Eugene telling her that he always, respected her and loved her and liked the fact that she was who she was. As soon as I seen Franklin give her that letter, I knew that letter couldn't have been legit. I was like, I don't even think Eugene wrote that fucking letter. So she was on the phone with her mother and talking to her mother, telling her mother how, she thought she was talking to her sister, but whoever the girl Rachel was, but Rachel had handed the phone back to Ginger's mother, and she didn't know that Ginger didn't know her mother was still on the phone. So she was telling her how she started to warm up to the family. They're not that bad. And that's when she noticed that the letter was a fake. She noticed the letter was fake because whoever wrote the letter was a right-handed person. And Ginger's a left-handed person because her mother always told her she got her left-handed writing from her father. So Eugene was a lefty. So there's no way Eugene could have wrote that letter. And she was pissed off at Margaret because she was like, how fucking sick can you be? Like, you're that angry? Like, you really don't want them to be a part of the family that bad that you would fake a letter from Eugene? Like, she was hurt by that because she really started to kind of warm up to the family and stuff, and she was real hurt. So she just told, Margaret, I don't want your damn money. She was like, I'm good. I don't want your money. So Antonio was pissed when she saw Ginger packing up her stuff because she was like, you're like fucking up our chances of getting this money. And Ginger told him, if you want the money, take the money. You better get it while they still got it because they're not going to have it for long. So we get back to the studio and stuff, and they're doing the show, and at the Sunshine Network, they got the studio audience there. The cameras are rolling. Eric's on stage with Becky and Paul, and Eric's singing and stuff. And they start talking about secrets. And, Eric starts talking about his father. Because I definitely feel like Paul and Becky manipulated Eric into just revealing to the public the fact that his father had 3 illegitimate children. Just to get back at his mother for stealing the CEO chair right out from under him. So when he started talking about his father and stuff like that, she realized what Eric was about to do. So she started putting some promo on the back screen of her talking and stuff like that to try to stop him from talking. And that's when she went on stage and cut him off and stuff. And she warned Paul, because Margaret warned Paul, like, if you do this is going to fuck up all of our money. You know what I'm saying? If this becomes public. So Ginger decided to call the reporter Luke that she met earlier at the hotel, call him because she was going to blow the lid off the whole thing. She was going to reveal to the press and have a press conference her damn self that Eugene had 3 illegitimate children. So when Margaret was in her bedroom praying and stuff like that, how can the devil pray? Margaret is a hypocrite. How y'all ass sitting there praying, but you the devil himself, the way she treating them kids. So, baby Jesus comes walking up in her room and stuff while she praying, and Antonio comes up behind him and grabs him. And, Antonio is basically thanking her and stuff because Antonio, he's happy with $1 million. He happy with $2 million because it could change his life. You know what I'm saying? That's $2 million more than he has, obviously, because he's never seen that kind of money. But Ginger keeps feeling like they should be getting more. So he ends up basically snitching on Ginger by telling Margaret how Ginger been talking to the press. So Ginger shows up to the hotel and stuff like that, getting ready for the press conference. And that's when Luke, trying to warn her that it's not going to go the way she thinks it's going to go. So she goes up in the room. Margaret is already up in there with Franklin, with Eric, with Rose, with Becky, with Paul. They all up at the podium with the cameras on them, and they start talking about Eugene. And Margaret decided to spill the tea her damn self about Eugene's illegitimate children, Jason, Ginger, and Antonio. That was her announcement because Eric was there under the impression that Margaret was going to name him as the CEO of Monroe Unlimited. I'm like, no, bro. She decided Margaret played chess with they ass because she got tired of Paul trying to blackmail her with the information, and she tried to cut Ginger off from revealing it to the public. So she was like, fuck this. I'm going to take Paul's power away and I'm going to shut Ginger down all at the same time by revealing the shit my damn self. Take y'all power away. You know what I'm saying? And come out on top still. That was a smart ass move. That was a chess move that she did right there. I was like, go ahead, Margaret. Go ahead. You ain't even getting no arguments from me. Jason done stormed out the damn room. Obviously, Jason don't want to be on camera because he know he a fake. That's why he ain't trying to be on camera. That's why he wanted to take the money and just go, because he know his ass ain't Eugene Child. That's why. And Margaret warned Ginger. She was like, bitch, don't try to hold press conferences and control the media in my town. She was like, you need to realize this is my town. I control shit here, not you. She played that ass. But unbeknownst to Margaret, she had no idea that Ginger's mother was coming, because she looked at Ginger's mother when she came up in the room. She was like, what the hell is that? And Ginger was like, bitch, my mother. I was like, the claws are out, bitch. Some shit about to go down. So then we get this scene where we see Eugene after the plane crash and he laying in some damn swamp and his eyes open up. Eugene's alive. I knew it. So now he's being nursed by somebody in some little rundown shack. I was like, I knew Eugene ass was alive. I knew it. If you don't find nobody, their ass is alive. So anyway, that's the first episode. That was the premiere episode of Filthy Rich. I rocks with this show so far. I think it's a dope show. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about it. And I'll see y'all all later. Hope y'all have a good night. Peace.